I would like to start a discussion about asking Second Chance Animal Clinic for municipal tax rate or donation to the town of Arlington. As you know, they are tax exempt by state statute. My opinion is it's not a matter of should we, but how to proceed. This organization is eligible for fire and rescue services from the town. And I might add that this may apply to the Battenkill Valley Health Clinic, but I don't believe they formally applied, have they, Keith?
To my knowledge, it's been discussed, but we have received nothing as far as a request.
Right. And they have paid the taxes up to this point.
I believe so.
I believe.
I mean, I can't answer that 100%, but I'm assuming they have.
I think this is an interesting subject. I know that in various parts of the state, some particularly larger nonprofits do make contributions to the municipalities in which they are located, for instance, UVM, and I think the medical center up there. But I think it would be important to review who is not paying, who has the tax exemption in this town, and think about what our policy is. You certainly can ask for a donation. I don't think you can enforce that. And I'm not comfortable singling out one organization without looking at who else is involved. Because I mean, you could even ask the churches, I mean, they certainly get fire and rescue. You could ask any nonprofit for a donation in lieu of taxes. So you're not imposing the taxes, but you're asking for a donation. So, but I would like to review the entire list before we single out a particular organization.
In giving this some further thought, and I fully agree with you, but I think for the most part, the tax exempt properties in this town, other than these two, are really community house, for instance, okay? It's a community activity, it's a community service, it's ultimately, at the end of the day, the town, I believe, would own that building. So the school, the library, the churches.
The rescue squad?
Pardon?
The rescue squad?
Rescue squad, they're Masons. They're really,
Grange.
I see them as community, part of the community, a service to the community. And I'm not throwing Second Chance under the bus whatsoever. It's not about cats and dogs. In fact, their facility there is an asset to this community. I mean, it's very attractive. But we have lost tax money there. And if it's a donation, might be a little softer approach.
I understand the distinction you're making, particularly with something like the community house, if there's a sense in which the town actually has a connection there. But all of these institutions are providing community services. I feel if you're going to ask for one of them for a donation, I would have to ask for all of them for a donation. I'm not comfortable singling out one. I'm really not. And I think we need to...
Yeah, I agree with Cynthia on her position on that. I guess maybe I don't know all of the nonprofits in Arlington yet, so I would want to see like a list of them, I think.
That's what I would like as a first step. Let's get that list. It may turn out that we do want to just send letters to a couple, but I think we have to have a policy and based on review of the facts of the situation, and then and I would be wanting to send a letter requesting a donation. There's no way we can ask them to pay property taxes. We can't. It's not allowed.
Yeah. And I brought this up as a discussion, and I'd like to pursue it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if the listers could provide us with the best listing of,
There's a list right in, as part of the grand list.
there's a list of that.
There's
Okay,
a
then I
list
would,
of all the taxes.
I would ask if Janet could request the list of tax exempt properties in the town of Arlington for us, and the list in such a way so that it identifies the owning entity, so not just a list of parcel numbers, but a list owned by such and such, you know what I mean? That would be really great, and we
It's,
could look at that at the next meeting.
It's one of the last pages of the grand list, that book down on Robin's desk.
Okay.
That has them all.
If it's all there, then you can just copy
Just copy the
that
page
last
off.
page, yeah, absolutely.
that's-
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so Robin, go to Robin,
Not
as
that-
usual, go to Robin, yeah.
She's gone for 2 weeks, but.
All right, well,
Someone's down
the
there.
grand list
Yeah.
is down there, and they can help you
Yeah.
find that in the book, okay.
The
That's
other
good.
thing that you might not know, and I'm not sure we know, is when it comes to the fire company, the rescue squad, some of these, the library, some of these organizations, they may actually make donations too, say, when the rescue squad does a mailing for donations, they actually may make a donation. They may make a donation to the fire company, we don't know that. And that's,
Oh, I
you
see.
see what I'm
That's a
saying?
way of supporting.
It's a way of supporting those
institutions.
those entities.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
But we may not ever know
Right,
that they
right.
made that donation unless the fire
Right,
company told us or the rescue squad told us.
Good
So
thought.
They may already be doing what you're thinking
Yeah,
in a roundabout way,
yeah.
Okay.
so.
And the firehouses, the barns belong to the town
They
anyway?
do.
Yes, no?
No, they belong to the fire company.
The fire company, okay.
The firehouses and the property
We
both belong to the
pay
fire
rent to
company.
them.
And you vote to exempt them from taxes.
Okay, okay.
I think the rescue squad was on the ballot this year.
To be.
Yes,
Yeah.
to re-extend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it would be good to
Yeah.
have that list of who's on that exemption list.
We can start with
The
that.
Lions own part of the park, so they must be on that list.
Correct me if
The
I'm wrong,
Masons.
Keith, but we also, the town has paid for years and years and years, $2,000 or somewhere thereabouts to the fire company for the use of the building to park town-owned vehicles in it.
Paid rent.
Right, as
Yeah.
Yeah, we pay them on rent,
Yeah,
which is,
But for
I
two
don't ever
buildings.
remember it changing.
2 buildings, because there's 2 buildings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so in other words, the fire company pays, for instance, the heating bill.
They may pay the
No.
heating bill, but we pay rent. They would cover the
We-
heating bill.
Right.
We pay rent, we pay, they're covered on the firehouses. We pay $2,000 a year to use the 2 buildings. We pay for their insurance. The insurance is covered under the town policy. It's a line in the budget. And we pay for the fuel oil through the fire department budget. So the fire department
Okay.
budget pays for fuel oil and insurance. The fire company pays for the lights and maintenance of the buildings. And we pay $2,000 a year rent to the fire company to use the 2 buildings.
Sounds confusing.
It's not after you've done it for 20 years. It's
I don't ever remember it being any different than 2,000.
It's been, yeah, that
It's been that
actual
way for
rent,
decades.
that's just sort of a symbolic
Yep.
number is all
Yep.
that amounts to.
Well, and it does cover some of their costs.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably covers their light bill and
Yeah.
stuff. You know,
Yeah.
So I assume this is typical of most towns.
I'm sure every town is
Most
different.
towns, I would say, well, I wouldn't say most, a lot of towns own the buildings. So they pay for everything. So it's kind of a juggling match the way we do it. It just so happens the company got deeded the property to start with and built the first firehouse, and that's just the way
So
it's
it's
been
like
ever since.
it's a historical artifact. I mean, it just is the
Yeah.
way it evolved here.
Yeah.
In other towns, it may have
That's
evolved
the
in
way
different ways.
that's the way it came about, and it's
Yeah.
still that way. They-
Yeah.
All of the ground the firehouses sit on was donated to the fire company
Okay.
many, 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 many years ago. Okay, so for the next meeting, we'll have a list of all the tax exempt properties in town and go from there.
Sounds good.
Good.
Okay?
Thank you.
Step one.